Greetings. Greetings from Songtham Kalayani Temple in Thailand. Our temple is about 52 kilometers west of Bangkok, and you are now with me on the main shrine. I am supposed to be talking about the meditation technique that we do in our temple. As I mentioned earlier, that this is a temple for Bhikkhuni. Bhikkhuni means fully ordained monastic, female monastic. This temple is the very first one in Thailand. We have been here for more than 60 years. That is from my mother's time, Venerable Voramai, who was ordained, fully ordained in Taiwan. But in my time, already the fully ordained Theravada Bhikkhunis started in 1998, and my own ordination started in 2001, and then I continued on to be fully ordained and became the first Theravada Bhikkhuni in my country in the year 2003. That is the beginning, so that is the introduction, so that you get to know who I am and where we are exactly in Thailand. The temple is situated on the highway which leads you straight through the southern part of Thailand, through Malaysia, and even to Singapore. So we live on very busy highway. But nevertheless, inside, as soon as you take a step in the temple, you could feel the atmosphere, that it is different from outside. This is the main shrine, meaning that all the important ceremonies are done in this building. We also have the Medicine Buddha building, which of course we will take you there in the second part of the sitting. Allow me to give you a general picture of meditation in Buddhism. Theravada Buddhism follow the Tripitaka. Tripitaka means the three baskets, the text which originally was separated in three baskets, in three sections. That's why it is called three baskets. And within these three baskets, within this text, we discovered at least 46 different kind of meditation technique, the richest one in a religious world. The Buddha experienced various different kind of teaching, various different kind of practice in his time, and he came to a conclusion that this one that he would like to prescribe for his disciples, for his students. But why are there so many techniques in training the mind? Because we are so different. Each one of us is different from others. So therefore, the technique is there to suit our temperament, so to say. These 46 different kind of meditation technique can be largely grouped into two sections. The first section is called concentration or samatha. And the second section, or the higher section, is called Vipassana or insight meditation. The first part, this concentration, there are at least 40 different kind of techniques to train the mind. The second part, Vipassana, has at least six different types of meditation technique. I have my assistant who will be giving you the second part, that is the Vipassana. And we will take you to another hall so that you experience the setting of our temple. Here with me, the first part, I will allow you to have a glimpse of one of the 40 meditation technique that the Buddha provided in his time, which is samatha. Samatha means concentration. Here I have gadgets to kind of games to play with you. Here we have the candle. And as I light the candle, of course you are interested in what I am doing, so your attention is here, right? So I light the candle. Now your attention focus on the light. Yes? Shall we do that? Your attention is at the flame of the candle. Okay? Suppose if it's dark, you will see the flame much clearer. Imagine that it is dark. So you see the light. You see the light from the flame of the candle. You are focusing here. Yes? Now, what next I will do? I will put a fan. I will put a fan in front of the light, the flame of the candle, and you will not see anything. And then I will pierce a hole. I will use a needle and pierce a hole on this fan, screening you from the light. So what happened is that you will see just that needle point of light that comes through the hole. So this is a technique that is prescribed. One of the techniques prescribed. You see the light that comes through that tiny hole of the needle. Okay? You have to imagine, because it is not dark. If it is completely dark, you will really be focused on that needle point of light. Please try yourself. Try yourself at home in the darkness. Do exactly what I do, and you will realize that indeed you can see that light. This technique is called Kasina. Kasina. One of the 40 techniques. So that your concentration, which was a bigger frame like this, it is narrowed down to this needle point of light that you can see. So when you come to that, through this tiny hole of the needle, pierce through the fan, and you will be focused at that particular point of the light which comes through the needle hole. Okay, you see that? Do you see the image that I'm trying to give you? Please try at home, in the dark. In the dark, you will experience the effect of this technique. So, visualize that light which comes through that tiny hole, and be there. Before you close your eyes, imagine that you are sitting in meditation technique. Sit the way you are comfortable. We will be together for maybe the next 10 minutes. The back is straight. Your back is straight, and the Buddha always sit in a position which is called asana. The two legs are folded in a very proper way so that you can sit straight up. That is very Asian. For the Western people, you have trouble sitting cross-legged as it is. But some of the Western people can really sit very straight, and very beautiful sitting asana that they can do. For those who are not comfortable, sit in a position that you are comfortable. But make sure the back, the spine is straight. Straighten up and relax a little bit. Come down and relax a little bit. Your hands. I suggest some people put their hand on the knees, put their two hands on their two knees, which I would suggest that the hands should be together. But because when the hands are together, you are making one round. You see yourself making one round with your arms and hands together. And then another round is with your legs. As you sit folded with the folded legs, you have two circles like that. And when you bring your hands together, the left hand is supporting the right hand. How is that? Suppose if the right hand is the mind, the left hand is the body, eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and body. So the mind is not controlling, but supporting and kind of guiding the 5 doors, 5 sensory doors. And then your 2 thumbs together, put the 2 thumbs together. And then these two hands, you put it at the center of your body. Find the center of your body, put it there. And now you are peaceful within yourself, breathing in and out normally. Now we have that image of that light coming through the tiny hole, tiny needle hole. Look at that light. Look at that light. Your concentration does not go anywhere, but there, at that needle hole where the light comes through. Be with that image. Be with the candle image. As the light brings the light through the needle hole, go back to the source of light, which is where the light comes through the needle hole, very small. Your concentration is now narrowed down to that tiny hole of the needle. Breathe in and out normally, just very softly, not forcing breathing in long, breathing out long. No, just simply yourself, the way you breathe in and out. Be very comfortable with your physical base. Your breathing is also comfortable. But you see that light, that dot of light that comes through the needle point. Totally focused. The mind wiggles. It shift here and there, or run away sometimes so quickly. You are aware when the mind is already back to that one spot of light. See the color of the light, yellowish. See that tiny hole, which is hardly a dot. Your concentration focus at that tiny dot. You hear the traffic, as our temple is right on the highway. Always hear the traffic, but the traffic is on the highway. Has nothing to do with us. As your ears perceive the sound, it is the nature of the ears to perceive the sound. Perceive the sound and let it go. Come back to that needle point of light. The purpose of concentration is to train the mind which wiggles all the time, to train this wiggling mind to stay. It is like when you put a baby to sleep, you need to sing the lullaby, you need to swing the cradle. You are like that baby, swaying left and right, but quite comfortable. Come back to that needle point light which comes through the fan. That helps you to be one-pointed. It helps you to be one-pointed in your meditation. That sharp, one-pointed mind, when you can remain in that one-pointed mind, it is called samadhi. When you are really concentrated with that one-pointed of the light, at times you forget that you are breathing. It is fine. The breathing is always there, but the mind takes in object one at a time. And right now, the object of your concentration is that one-pointed light that comes through the needle point. You can be so still that you forget whether you are breathing or not. That is also fine. Always come back to that one-pointed light which comes through the needle point. As you concentrate your mind at that one point of light coming through the needle point, you experience the strength of this focused mind. You experience samadhi, the power of samadhi. You can slowly open your eyes, be with yourself. You can feel your body, feel your hands, feel your arms, feel your thigh. Come back to these senses again. You have experienced one of the kasina, one of the meditation technique which we do in concentration. When the mind is concentrated, when you experience this one-pointed mind, yes, some of you do, but some of you don't. That's fine. That's fine, because the mind is like a monkey. It goes here and there all the time. And because we have not trained the mind, the monkey mind, therefore, even just to sit still for 1 second, it is difficult. But with this technique, it allows you to come to this one-pointed mind easier with this, the help of the candle and the help of that light that comes through the needle hole. It allows you to be really sharp with your one-pointedness. This is only one technique out of the 40 different kind of concentration or samatha. I need to also add that for meditation, someone asked just last hour, I was sitting with a group from Los Angeles. They asked whether you should also have sila, whether you should also have morality. Indeed, in Buddhism we have this sila, samadhi, panya. Sila, morality, samadhi, meditation, panya, wisdom. Samadhi, meditation. The fruit of meditation. You do not get the fruit of meditation if you do not keep your morality. So in Buddhism they talk about the 5 precepts. The 5 precepts is very much in your 10 commandments. Part of your 10 commandments is the very same as the 5 precepts. So whichever direction you come from, whether you are Muslim, you are Christians, or you are Buddhist, there is always that base of morality that we keep, we respect. With morality, only then you will benefit the fruit of meditation. Because without it, when you sit and meditate, if you have stolen something, you are worried whether the police will be catching up with you, like that, So meditation does not bear fruit if you do not keep your morality. So we will move now. We will move from this main hall and we will take you to the Medicine Buddha, another hall about maybe 200 steps from here, and then we will guide you for the second level of meditation, which is called Vipassana. I will have Venerable Dhammaparipurna. Venerable Dhammaparipurna she was a professor before. Her lay name was Dr. Surirat Chetsumon. So you will be meeting her in the next session.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Good morning, everyone. We are now sitting in the Medicine Buddha's hall. You have learned samatha meditation, and now we are going to know about Vipassana meditation or insight meditation. First thing first, you need to differentiate between samatha and Vipassana meditations. The purpose of samatha meditation is to calm the mind, to stabilize the mind. Once you practice the technique of samatha meditation, the result, you will be calm, serene, and tranquil. That's to rest your mind, to gain the power of the mind. And then you shift to Vipassana meditation to sharpen, to cultivate the insight wisdom. That's why it is called insight meditation. The purpose of practicing Vipassana or insight meditation is to cultivate the knowledge and convert that knowledge into insight wisdom of the 3 characteristics of all things on this earth. That is Anicca, impermanent, dukkha, suffering, and anatta, no real self, and not under anyone's control. Let me share with you the insight meditation. There are 6 types of insight meditation. However, there is one technique that is recommended by the Buddha, that include samatha in the beginning and transfer to insight meditation at the end without shifting the mind from the mind object. This technique is called anapanasati or breathing meditation. Once you know why we need to do this, because most of people, when they start meditation, they don't prepare the mind, so they jump into meditation and they cannot attain anything, either calmness of the mind or insight. First thing first, I would like to let you know that you need to differentiate between knowing or feeling and thinking. Most of the time we are lost in our thought or thinking world. You may follow me. Can you see my palms? I raise my palms and I can see it, knowing it. When I fold my palms with eyes open, I can see my palms closed with my eyes, seeing it. Still, when I open it, I can see it clearly with both eyes and knowing it clearly. Now, just close the eyes and then fold the palm. Close it. You can feel it, knowing it without seeing. This is the technique that you really need to do with your mind. You don't have to see it with the eyes. Once you know this, can differentiate between the thinking and knowing or feeling, the next one is that whatever you practice in this Vipassana, just like you need to contemplating in the very present moment. Why present moment? Because at the very present moment, when you use the strength of the samatha, you can see the three characteristics clearly. Now, I will give you guided meditation. Please slowly close your eye, just knowing it. Place your mind on top of your head, just knowing it clearly. If you don't know it clearly, the mind's going away. Don't push too hard, too loose, just about right. Gently touching the mind's there. Move the mind to the face, just knowing it on around. Do not focus on any part of the face. To the neck, just knowing it clearly. Chest, just knowing it clearly. Belly, just knowing it clearly. Bottom, just knowing it clearly. Hip joints, just knowing it clearly. Thighs, just knowing it clearly. Knees, just knowing it clearly. Chest, just knowing it clearly. Ankle, just knowing it clearly. Feet, just knowing it clearly. And to all your feet fingers, just knowing it clearly, the mind is there. Now moving backward to your feet, just knowing it clearly. Ankles, just knowing it clearly. Chest, just knowing it clearly. Knees, just knowing it clearly. Thighs, just knowing it clearly. Hip joints, just knowing it clearly. Bottom, just knowing it clearly. Belly, just knowing it clearly. Chest, just knowing it clearly. Neck, just knowing it clearly. Shoulders, just knowing it clearly. Shoulder joints, just knowing it clearly. Upper arms, just knowing it clearly. Elbows, just knowing it clearly. Lower arms, just knowing it clearly. Wrist, just knowing it clearly. Palms, just knowing it clearly. To all your fingers, just knowing it clearly, the mind is there. Now moving backward to the palms, just knowing it clearly. Wrist, just knowing it clearly. Lower arms, just knowing it clearly. Elbows, just knowing it clearly. Upper arms, just knowing it clearly. Shoulder joints, just knowing it clearly. Shoulders, just knowing it clearly. Neck, just knowing it clearly. Face, just knowing it clearly. And to the top of your head, just knowing it clearly. Now the mind is there. What we have just done is called body scanning. This is to limit the mind not to wandering around just within this body. The speed of scanning depending on the fast of the mind. Everyone have distinct different. So if you have very quick or very swift mind, you may do this quicker. Won't let a chance for the mind to wandering out of the body. Now we are going to the place that we're going to use this as the base of practice. Gently move the mind from the top of the head to the tips of your nose, the point that you can feel the breathing in and the breathing out touching clearly. You need to find this yourself because we have different nose shape. Once you found this clearly, just place the mind gently there. Just gently touching and place it. Don't push too hard, too loose. Comfortably. Start with deep breathing in. You may follow the breath in, long breathing out. You may follow breathing out. Deep breathing in, long breathing out. One more time. Deep breathing in, long breathing out. You do this just like an innocent kid, sitting at the door frame, observing people walking into the room and walking out of the room, just like the breathing in and the breathing out. These innocent kids know nothing, just observe the breath like that. Knowing the breath as usual, the body is going to adjust the length of the breath. Nothing to worry about. Once your mind reaches the one-pointed state, that means the mind is focusing at the point of the breathing, observing clearly the breathing in and the breathing out is very clear. This is the time that Vipassana is starting. So the breath thoroughly, you can feel and knowing that the breathing in starts and maintains for a while and then it stops. Then the breathing out starts, maintains for a while and then stop. Once you see there is a clear cut in between the breathing in and the breathing out on both sides of the breath, the first three characteristics express itself. Anicca, or impermanence of the breath. The breath is duality, dependent on each other, cannot just breathing in without breathing out, or breathing out without breathing in. Once you see this impermanence clearly, you know that clinging on to something that impermanent bring you suffering. Now, just do it one time only to give the idea of suffering. Take deep breathing in and long breathing out and hold it for a big while until you can't stand anymore. Observe what is going on the body and the mind. If you cannot stand anymore, please let the breathing in suffering, isn't it? The body is searching for the air element. To be more specific, oxygens. Once the body is suffering, struggling for the air, the mind starts to feel uncomfortable. That's the suffering on the body and the mind. The second three characteristic is suffering or dukkha express itself, as well as anatta or no real self. Because you use your atta or the self to control a nature that is the breath. But this nature is not under anybody's control. It's just like that. Once you use this atta or the self to control any other thing, suffering will come. So you see, suffering and anatta, or there's no real self of both the one who is breathing and the breath itself. That if you practice until the mind is very fine-tuned, you observe that in between the breathing in and the breathing out, there is a pause, very tiny, very small gap. In that, there is no air, no breath at all. Or this pause hiding us. When we die, there is no air. So it is just hiding the death. Actually, we temporarily dead every moment. But because this pause or this gap is very small, that's why we still alive. And because the breathing in and the breathing out is going on, when we are departing from this world, at the end of the breathing out, there's no more breathing in. That's how we say goodbye to this world. When your mind is very anchored, you may observe that point, end of the breathing out, without, beginning of the breathing in. That's how we prepare to die peacefully. Once your mind learn this, that's the truth, and keep observing the breathing in and the breathing out, and maintain that without any thought interfere with this process. There is no you who are breathing, just the breathing, the air element going inside and out of the tip of your nose, which is conditioned truth. Actually, the air intake and the air outtake is the same air. It doesn't belong to anyone. This is what we call insight wisdom. You see the truth of the rupa and let go of that rupa. You see the truth of the knower and let go of the knower. Now, the mind set free and back to its nature. contemplating the three characteristics of any element, anything on this earth, often to train the mind to know the truth, until the mind understand this truth of the body and the mind clearly. It's just like you read the book thoroughly. The body and the mind is just like the book. In the beginning, you need to cultivate knowledge through listening, through reading, through thinking. But when it comes to the meditation, to gain insightful wisdom, you need to cultivate insight meditation to attain insight wisdom or Vipassana jnana. So you can remove the wrong view of being the self, and now you live in the nature as a nature, because you have converted the knowledge into insight wisdom ready. Before ending your insight meditation, take deep breathing in, long breathing out. Take deep breathing in, long breathing out. One more time. Deep breathing in, long breathing out. Slowly open your eyes and your minds together. So we are now have complete both samatha meditation and Vipassana meditation.
We would like to say goodbye to you. Both of us wish you well and wish that you practice, keep on practicing, and we hope that all of you will be very happy.